Full Metal Alchemist Avatar Legend of Korra crossover. How would you go about it? I think it'd be something like Last Airbender a long time ago. Okay,
Yes.
would you really want to throw Star Wars in there? Okay, Full Metal Alchemist and Legend of Korra. I don't know how you could do that.
Hmm.
I mean, it's kind of they have the same kind of close to worlds,
Mhm.
but I don't know how you could get the two worlds to meet. I mean, it'd be cool to see Ed and Korra would be great to see them hang out together.
Sure.
Because I think the banter would be hilarious of just Korra calling Ed shorty and him calling Korra a big-breasted bimbo.
Only thing is how, again, will we get these two worlds together, or one crossover to the other one?
Yeah, but just imagining the characters who would hang out together. I think Winry and Asami would be cool hanging out together.
Yeah, that'd be very cool.
Winry and Asami, because they could just invent stuff all day long and just have conversations, and that would just pretend to science. And God, Bolin just walking is like, "Hey guys, get out! We're talking about science."
Okay. Goes the other direction.
It'd be cool to see Mako hang out. Well, actually, I think it'd be hilarious to see like Lin try to metal bend Al.
Oh no. Oh, I can see a crazy scenario with Al now. I feel so bad for him. But yeah, I can totally see that happening.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be so great. Like, could you imagine what Armstrong would do to these kids, to the core of the others? Brush your teeth. Why are you here?
I can imagine a very big, heavy hug from him giving to the whole cast. I could definitely see that happening. But yeah, I think it would be a very cool crossover, though.
Yeah, I don't know how it'd work.
Yes, no either.
Yeah. So think of that question, boo rat. So our next question comes from Blue Goblin 01. Ed, I didn't know you watched this show. Okay, he asks, in regards to season 1, what was, in your opinion, the best moment of the series, and what was the worst moment of it?
Ooh.
How do I find? It's like trying to find the needle in the hay turd.
What did you really enjoy, you think, from the first season?
The first season, I like the art style was great. I thought it was flawless. The bending when it was done was very well. Some of the characters got good moments, and there were some good plot lines, but the characters themselves just they fell flat. That was the big dense moment. And the finale just killed it for the first season for me.
For me, I really liked how the world was developed, especially such a big progression from the, of course, Avatar to Korra. Such a big jump too with that, and it was very interesting too to see how this it was like over there with Republic City. But I'm very curious too how other areas of the world will be like. But again, with that in mind, I really did like how we did see some great character developments, but it wasn't as good or should have been done as justice as I could have done. And again, the whole love triangle and even the romance aspect, it definitely killed it for me. Definitely did. And again, I really hope they could have executed it better, but they just didn't. But again, hoping for the next season they could definitely do a better job and definitely redeem itself. Crossing the fingers like,
Yeah, same. So that's my question. That's our answer, Ed. Amoya Reviews asked, last year they announced that Win will finally get a secondary bending. What do you think that will be? Sorry if this question isn't at all original. That's totally fine. We're going to answer it anyway. I don't know, like, what could you do a secondary air bending? Sonic bending? And not like running real fast, I mean like sound.
That could be, I could definitely see that for one. I don't know, you really do have to think about it too. Especially what you can do with air, how that's going to apply with, again, possibly fighting and other things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. If they call it turbo bending, I'm walking out.
Like, that's it. I'm very excited too what it'll be because I'm not as creative as I wish I could be right now, just to really think of a cool idea, but I am very excited. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Um, so all we can say is we don't know what it's gonna be. I'll just come up with stupid names, but we don't have time for that.
Yes.
It's going to be pastrami bending.
There you go. Yes, there you go.
Yeah. So the name of that question reviews. Now moving on to King Nazaru, and he asks, would you like to see a new bending element? Me personally, I'd like to see shadow bending.
Oh, I heard of shadow bending a while ago. I think that'd be very cool, actually.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to see, like, bending forms that were kind of, there were, like, all types of bending, but they kind of just, the techniques kind of, and the benders themselves kind of just died out, and these are just bending forms that have been trained, that have been under training, and they're trying to bring these bending forms back, but most of them are considered forbidden. I definitely could see shadow bending as forbidden. Maybe something like mind bending.
Ooh, so how would that work, you think?
Something like able to reach into someone's head, or telepathy, or telekinesis, or able to create illusions. Yeah, I could just see a villain Korra facing out. Behold, the mind bender.
That's very cool.
I don't know, animal bending, able to control animals. Maybe, shit, I don't know, cosmic bending or astro bending. It's late, cut me some slack.
It's okay, we understand. But I do like the idea, definitely, with the shadow bending, though, that you're talking about. I think that'd be a very cool aspect, definitely.
Yeah, any ideas for you?
It's late.
Hey.
Oh, goodness. I don't really have any ideas. I really would have to think about this. For me, I do have to take my time really think about this. But I like your ideas. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
Woo!
Next question comes from Jason Voorhees 2011. And he asks, if you could choose one, what element would you want to bend the most and why? Hipster, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, for me, it would definitely be water bending. And the reason is because I love just water in general, like swimming. I love the ocean and everything like that. I've always been, I was in a Paris, so I always just loved going to the pools and everything like that. So for me, it would definitely be water bending for sure. But yeah, that's me though.
Me, I don't want to sound generic. I gotta go with fire bending.
Okay, wonder why.
For me, firebending, for one, it's under my, in my horoscope, it's under, that's the element I'm born under, and I kind of enjoy, and I don't mean to sound, this is going to sound really weird, but I just like watching fire. Don't get the wrong idea, people, it's not like I'm, like, frickin' Firefly.
But no, let's say you like, say by a campfire, let's say outside or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, and just the things you could do with firebending is, the stuff, we saw with Zuko and Azula and Zhang Zhang and even Mako, the bending techniques they could do with fire was great. And it's a bending technique that you could generate, you don't need the other elements around you.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Same with you, again, when you said with your zodiac, mine is the Pisces, so that's the fish. And I feel like I definitely associate with that again with the water aspect. So I feel like, yeah, another idea too that I feel like the zodiac can definitely be in your hands on, maybe to someone choosing their element or something.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hang on. So, wait, thank you for that question, Jason. Wait, Mitch Meister asked a question. He already asked a question. Didn't I say only one question per person?
I think you did.
Yeah, I did. But his question in here is so cool.
Uh-oh.
I'm kind of caught here. I don't want to sound like a goddamn hypocrite.
Oh no, what do we do?
I must obey my rules. I'm sorry, Mitch Meister, but I have answered your question.
We are sorry.
Yeah, it was a good one, too.
Aww. maybe if he really wants to listen to it, you could always message the answer. That could always work.
Yeah, it's too much work. Again, it would be me going against my... It's the principle of the thing, you know?
It is. I understand.
Yeah. So, I'm deeply sorry, but, we've already answered the question, and I kind of made it clear in the 2 videos I did that only 1 question per person. So, yeah, again, I don't mean to be a jerk. It's just, I don't want to break that rule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, anywho, Zach the Thunder King asks, if you could change stuff from Season 1 of Legend of Korra, what would it be? Everything.
Well then, where should we get started? How about you take this? Go ahead. You go first.
First off, could we put the romance on the back burner?
Done and done. There you go.
And can we make Amon a better villain because he was so cool, and then that season ending killed him? I mean, couldn't it have been? You could have gotten away with saying Tarlok was working with Amon so he could get more power, and then Amon backstabs him. That could have worked too, rather than making them brothers.
Right. I could definitely see that happening. Oh yeah.
And Amon. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Say again, speaking about the ending, I definitely thought about this idea too because I saw a comic about this right after the season ending, and I definitely thought about it for a while. The idea of Korra not getting her bending back, because of course when Aang comes back, of course he gives it to her and everything like that. The idea is Aang be like, you have to, of course, learn it all over again. You have to go find, the spirit inside of you to find the bending. So, kind of maybe the idea, of course, season 2 deals with spirits, of course, her harnessing her inner spirit, and possibly again trying to find the elements again so she can relearn herself to use them. I thought that would be a very cool idea if they could have done that, but I digress.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that would have been great. Like her relearning the elements again, and learning to be a better character, and
right.
learning some doing some soul searching. That would have been cool. No, Aang just goes in bending, ba ba boom.
Yeah, I just felt so jib too. It's like, well, here you go, and they're like, oh, totally awesome, like bending back, yeah. But when you sit down and think about it, you're like, dude, no. Maybe you could have relearned that. I mean, actually, like, no, you have to go through your own development, become maybe, a more wiser, again, maybe better person through that. Good character developments with maybe the other group, but again.
I mean, it would be cool to have her give back, her ability to give back. I mean, okay, here's what I would have done. Aang could have just said, like, I unlocked your ability to relearn, to bend to get the other elements again, but you have to go training, and he could give her back the ability to bend elements again. I could have been okay with him unlocking those 2 abilities and just saying, I can't give you back your elements, but I gave you the ability to retrain again.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what the fuck? Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing, like, I kind of imagine Aang turning around looking at all the past avatars. Where were you assholes when I needed this power?
Again, I guess a lot of people did feel like it was kind of like a Deus Ex Machina kind of moment when that happened. But again, when you look back at the full season in general, there were other moments too that really fell through that you really wish you could redo it or definitely change it as well to make the season much better than it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole freaking list. So thank you for that question, Zach. Now moving on to Action Fan 19, and he asks, do you think in the future Asami's descendants could build Iron Man-like armors or something like the Jaegers from Pacific Rim, or both? I'd be okay with that. Like, if we got like a future episode of Asami's descendants building like these huge armor suits, I could see that in this kind of universe, like in the far distant future. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say, hipster?
Oh, well, I was going to say is, again, I could definitely, again, for sure see it in this era, again, with Korra and everyone else. I would definitely love to see it, too, her being a badass and be, like, this Iron Man-esque outfit and, like, fighting with everyone else, too. Maybe kind of like a Jagger kind of thing as well. Like her testing it out with, to see it works and everything.
Yeah.
It would be so badass to see that, though. But, yeah, I would definitely be for it.
Yeah. God, that'd be so cool. It's like Asami wearing, like, this Iron Man Mach 1 armor, something like that, and just walking out. Because we have technically our battle suits, those things for the Equalists.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're not too far from that, and, Asami could just walk out, and just after she's done whooping ass, she takes off the helmet and be like, you wish you stayed with me now?
Very cool. Yeah. Again, another great development too with her character as well, I feel like. So it'd be very awesome to see if it did happen. Yeah.
I'm so happy that we've been getting a lot of Asami-centric questions.
I know, I'm very happy. Asami's one of my favorite characters, so I'm very happy.
Yeah. So thank you for that question. And moving on to Flame Kid 100, and he asks, would you like to see an evil incarnation of the Avatar, or would you prefer the Avatar to be a symbol of good, or do you prefer the Avatar to be a spirit of mixture of both good and evil intentions? That's a really good question. So I guess he's asking, would I like to see a Valyard Avatar? Or something,
right.
Something along the lines of what John Hurt's playing in the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it now, like, Mako and Korra are looking at this guy off in the distance and be like, who's that? And Korra's like, my name, the Avatar, it's a promise. He's the one who broke the promise. And then Mako collapses because his stupidity has weighed in on him. And Korra's carrying him away. And then you hear, what I did in the name of peace and sanity. And then Korra replies with, but not in the name of the Avatar, and walks away. And then the guy turns around, and then it just says, introducing John Hurt as the Avatar. End scene.
Nice. Bravo. I really like how you're really going through it. I was like, wow, this is getting pretty intense. But yes, good job. I guess back to the question, would you want to see an Avatar? I guess the idea of kind of dealing with their own inner demons, again, trying to balance good and evil.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea of having a villain be a past Avatar that went rogue out of his or her own reasons, and have that be a great enemy for Korra, because that's technically her.
Right.
And I think it'd be cool to see that kind of like how this villain, that the Avatar's always been a source for good, but it's he or she is still a human, and they can succumb to rage and despair and their own wicked ambitions. And I think it'd be a great way to see Korra kind of be a reflection of that against this past life of hers, or even like a future life of hers.
I definitely could I said definitely twice. Again, like I talked about before, I see her again fighting her own inner demons. And again, same idea too, kind of showing that there is a more humanistic side of someone who's going to be like the symbol of peace to everyone, that even they have to go through their own journey of trying to find their own inner peace to be able to bring it to the others.
Yeah. That's the big thing right there, and I think again with this with a dark Avatar, it would bring in so many great possibilities, because you could have maybe the White Lotus were trying to cover it up, that there was a corrupt Avatar, or maybe there was like some kind of amalgam Avatar that like it skipped over his or her life cycle, because his or her intentions were just based on greed and anger.
Right.
Because let's face it, the Avatar is the most powerful being in the universe. You don't want that guy, him or her having a shit fit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many possibilities you could do with this subject, and I think it'd be a cool thing to explore in the later seasons.
I agree, definitely.
Yeah. So thank you for that question, Flame Kid. That was a very good question. Coming up next is Mr. Emerald 123, and he asks, if you could give constructive criticism to Legend of Korra characters, who would they be and why? Okay, let me speed round this real quick before, if I may. Okay, Korra, stop being a bitch. Mako, be more developed. Bolin, stop being a cunt. Asami, you're okay. Chief Beifong, stop being a bigger cunt. Tenzin, you're played by J.K. Simmons, you're cool. It's kind of like that scene in that one scene. It's kind of like me. This is literally me pointing out these criticisms. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool, and fuck you, I'm out.
Very, very good criticism there. Wow.
So there's my speed round. What do you, hipster? You go ahead.
Well, mine won't be that much swearing. So, with Korra, take a nap every once in a while. You kind of, cool down for a bit. You're a waterbender. Hey, Mako, what is wrong with you? Like, seriously, we need to talk. Let's have a talk for a while. We'll talk later, though, but we need to talk. Bolin, Bolin, you're funny, but that's not who you really are, okay? Don't be the funny guy. You're more than that, okay? You're more than that. Asami, you go, girl. We gotta hang out sometime. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, Fong, you just gotta, again, cool down for a bit. Just cool down.
Stop being a jealous cunt.
Okay, you know what? Just cool down, and then you'll be fine. Amon, come on. You had a better reason. You could have had a better reason.
Tarlok, your hair's so pretty, but you suck.
Tenzin, you're cool in my book, hey!
Your voice actor played J. Jonah Jameson. You're cool.
You're cool, there we go. But yes, that's my fast round-ish of advice, I would say to them.
Yeah. And I got to use the word cunt. I don't get to use that word much. I say it like it's an accomplishment.
I know, right? Yay!
Yeah. So there's our answer, Mr. Emerald. Now comes from now moving on to Driving H001, and he asks, how would you do an Avatar series after Korra? I don't know.
Good question.
Yeah,
Well, I guess the question would definitely be is, what do you think this era would be like then? Like, how much progressive they would be with, like, technology and everything?
Yeah, and we got a question similar to that. So,
right.
Just a little bit now. I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool. Like, what do I call it? Avatar Beyond.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll have the guy who played Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond play the next Avatar. Oh wait, I think I just made something cool.
I'm curious too. Again, with this Avatar, again, their personality, what would they be like? Who would their group of friends would be? What would be the villain against them? What would happen around that era and everything like that?
I don't know. Maybe make the growing of technology. Again, that would just be retrotting kind of what they're doing in what they did with Book 1 of Korra. Saying right. Technology, you've got technology. Why the fuck do you need bending?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, if I could think out, if this wasn't 4 in the morning, I'd probably give a better answer. But I'm so scatterbrained, and maybe I'll come back to this in a video or something.
Again, yeah. I feel like again, this kind of question you really do need to think about, because you can definitely go through this whole different world aspect of what it can be. So this is a really more thought-provoking one, I feel like, that you really do need to take your time and really think about this.
Yeah. So thank you for that question. Moving on to Death Christ 2000, or as I like to call his YouTube name, that sounds like a name that sounds like a great power metal band. Sounds like you could be an opener for Power Man 5000. So Death Christ asks, what are your thoughts on Gan, Zigbuzz, Amon Abridged? I've never seen that, actually, and I've been meaning to after I saw that question. Have you?
I have, yes. I've seen a few, but I enjoy it. It's very funny to me. I've seen Gan Zigbuzz also, the Avatar one that he's done before, which I still wish he could do more of. I don't know if he's, of course, busy and stuff, but it's very funny. I really enjoy it a lot. You should see it, though, sometime if you get the chance. I think you'll enjoy it.
I probably will.
Probably will.
Yeah, so, quick, she has, I haven't. There's your answer.
Yes.
Thank you, Death Christ. And now moving on to 146 Zigzag, and he asks, if Amon had to be anyone other than who he said he was, who would you have wanted him to be? How about the guy he said he was in the first few episodes?
It's true.
That would have been enough origin for me.
Like, there we go. That's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you really ask, like, I would have been completely okay if they kept, like, that's his whole reasoning. Oh, his family got killed, and his face got fried. Alright. That would have been enough I would have been pissed off, too.
Again, if you go by that reasoning to again what he talked about, if that was the truth, I definitely would love to see a flashback again. What really progressed that anger for him to be like, okay, for sure, I really want to get rid of all the the benders in the world. I want to get rid of all of them. Maybe there's something leading up to it too that progressed it with some benders. Again, really, of course, as a kid, bullied him too. That kind of progressed that, leading all the way up to, of course, his parents dying from benders, and of course, his face totally fried off or something. Or maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe a bit more flashback if that was true. To really proclaim, yes, this is the reason why.
Yeah, and even like after that, like after his family got fried, and then he found a beautiful woman. Oh, Bender killed her.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that would have been enough for me. So thank you for that question, Zigzag. We're down to the last two questions.
All right.
And this question comes from Wolfman the Impaler. Since the show is set in a steampunk version of the 40s, what do you think Avatar's world would be like in the future, such as what threats would the Avatar deal with, what roles would Bender play in society? Again, this is something you gotta think about. I can't set up an entire world in under 10 minutes, people.
Right. Again, you could definitely talk about, again, technology versus the benders, that aspect of do we really still need benders? Is maybe the Avatar still, the idea of peace? Is that maybe the world is so much progressing that they don't really need an Avatar anymore, maybe? But yeah, again, with this one, you really do need to sit down and think, okay, so what can happen and how much can progress in the next 100 years to see what can happen to everyone else?
Yeah, and would there still be benders in this world?
Right.
Yeah, would Amon's dream of, would someone bring up Equalists again, call it a different name, and successfully wipe out benders? Or would there be like some kind of mystical magic, some kind of cure that could cure benders? And how would the spirit world function into this?
Right. And I guess also too, you have to think about how much in the future we are thinking of too. Are we going to think of the next Avatar after Korra? Or is it going to be maybe the next few Avatars down the line when something very big does happen?
Yeah. Because keep in mind, Korra is 70 years apart from Avatar, so
yeah.
Imagine another 70 years in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine it'd be something like, call me crazy, but I think it'd be something like the 60s.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I can definitely see that happening too, for sure.
Yeah. It's a possibility. So yeah, that's again something you gotta sit down and think about, Wolfman. So our final question comes from the Omnitron12345, and he asks, at some point do you think there should be vigilantes or some kind of old school pulp heroes or golden age superheroes in Korra's timeline, since it looks like it'd be a good fit since it's the 40s era?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is you want to see Green Hornet in Legend of Korra. Hey man, that's cool. I'd like to see that too. But something like, I think it would be cool to have like an episode where it parodies that, or you see like a character that references that, like he's like, I'm the wolf bat. And just have these people who are inspired by the Avatar. They're not benders per se, or you could have them, some are benders and some are non-benders, and they're just inspired by the Avatar to do good things.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see Korra just run into these people and be like, you guys are kind of weird.
Again, that would be such a great episode too. Again, it could definitely be like a filler episode too in between, but you can definitely see a lot of jokes with that in mind, a lot of crazy kind of hero aspects, and then also the idea too of them dressing up too, to kind of like hide their identity and everything like that.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. Like Bolin gets so enamored by these guys, and you just be like, he starts running around in a costume, and Mako and Korra just like fucking stop.
Right. Again, I would really love to see something like that, because again, with this era, you could definitely see people being totally inspired by Korra and wanting to be like, hey, if she could do it, I can do it too, and donning themselves up and trying to save the day. Again, getting some jokes here and there, maybe thinking they are saving the day, but they're actually not.
Yeah. Or they're actually good at their job. They're just a little more violent.
Oh, that too, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a cool way of looking about it, because that, I mean, like, you could have, like, some cool references to the Golden Age superheroes, like, and, you know, make some references to Watchmen, like, you could have one that looks a lot like Rorschach walking around.
Yeah.
Or just one like the Green Hornet or the Shadow, like those old pulp characters. I think this, the more I talk about it, the more I think this could be kind of cool. It's a possibility.
And again, something that you might not even see, let's say, in second season, but it would definitely be a great thing to show maybe the next ones also.
Yeah, I don't think you could maybe do a story arc on it, like a whole season on it, but this would definitely be a great filler or two-parter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all our questions.
All right.
Yeah. So I want to thank Simple Hipster for coming out here. We really, I really enjoyed this. Do you enjoy your experience?
Yeah, it was very fun. It really gets me pumped for Korra to start really soon again. Yay! The 13th, and these questions are very awesome too. It really gets me pumped to think what's going to happen the next season and different ideas as well.
Yeah. So we know it wasn't Gravity Talks. Boo. But we've got something planned, and when I say that, I mean we have nothing.
Oh, don't say that, guys. Don't worry. We got tons of ideas. Just sit back and wait. We'll get them started. Don't worry.
Yeah, just believe that, you know.
Just believe me, please.
I told you I'd shoot, but you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me?
Why?
So, I don't know if we could drag this out anymore. Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, so thank you guys for, you know, all the questions. Once again, to Mitch Meister, didn't mean to be a jerk, but, you know, I'm following my own rules here. Yeah, so. Anyway, I might as well, actually, since I'm here, I might as well come out and say that the next Q&A I'm probably going to do is Godzilla-centric. And I've got a few people in mind, Zazumar, who are going to be guest starring. And, yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, thank you again for inviting me, and thanks for the questions, guys. They were very awesome.
Yeah. Once again, I'll post a video soon on the Q&A Godzilla thing, so just put your questions there. And yeah, we are out of here.
Bye, guys.